Dave, back again, and this time, as promised, a review of the Space Marine demo. Now, at this point, I believe the full game is already out, so if you've got the extra money and you know you like, if you're a Space Marine fan, a Warhammer 40k fan, you've already seen the stuff about this, probably have already bought it, or are going to, so there's nothing really I can say that's really going to change your mind one way or the other. You know you're going to get it. And as far as the demo goes, quite simply, the demo has been out for a few days now. So why are you listening to me? Go play the demo. I can tell you about it all I want, but if you don't like it, it doesn't matter. So play the demo. But for those of you who care about my opinion, all 10 of you, or less, probably less, a little backstory. Warhammer 40k is a game universe from the company called Games Workshop. Mostly dealing with tabletop miniatures. And this game, for a while, it's a very good game. I've seen it played at several gaming conventions, but for a beginner or a novice, it's quite a commitment to play the game because it costs a lot of money to buy the figures. And there are a lot of figures, several different factions. Plus, you have to get the miniatures painted if you're going to do any kind of official gaming, like in tournaments, because your miniatures have to be painted. So you either have to do them yourself or pay someone to do them for you. Which, by the way, if you're in the Kokomo, Indiana area, stop by Comics Cubed near the square. Talk to Sean Hilton. He does a very good job of painting miniatures. He especially is good at orcs. So, anyway, Space Marine is set in the Warhammer 40k universe, which there have actually been several Warhammer 40k games in the past, most notably Space Hulk, way back when, both for the PC and I believe the PlayStation. I think I had the PlayStation one. But it played a lot like the board game. In fact, there was a standard Space Hulk game where it was just a group of Terminators versus a group of Tyranid in a spaceship. So it was kind of an introductory to the main Warhammer 40k universe. And I really don't. There was a couple of other RTSs, I believe. I have a few. Some of them weren't very good. But the first chance we got to actually take a soldier to the field was a PlayStation 2 game called Fire Warrior. Now, you weren't a Space Marine, which a lot of people complained about. You were actually a warrior of the Tau, which is the fire caste, hence Fire Warrior. You actually fought against Space Marines sometimes, mostly Chaos Marines, and Imperial Guard. I think that was it. I don't remember. I don't even think there was any orcs. Which orcs are everywhere. That's the main common enemy. In fact, when you fight in a lot of these games, orcs are the main bad guy. So that was for the longest time. And by the way, this is still playable online. However, several months back, I actually logged in to play this game. I was the only one on. So I don't know if there's anybody even still playing this. I kind of doubt it. But it is available to go online. So if you know some people, you have the game, or know people who do, you could probably form a little group and play by yourselves. I couldn't tell you anything about the multiplayer. I know this game was fun. I played it through several times. But as far as multiplayer, couldn't tell you. No one's online. All right. Later on, another version came out called Dawn of War, which was an RTS similar in the vein of Command and Conquer, StarCraft, Warcraft, things like that. I have all of them. Dawn of War, Winter Assault, Dark Crusade, and the last one that came out was Soulstorm. They are RTSs, and in fact, they are so good. Every year that these came out, 1, 2, 3, 4, they got Game of the Year every time. That's how good this game is. Beat out anything else. So, if you have a chance to pick up these games, they're great. You can either buy them online, or they are now available through Steam. Now, most recently, before Space Marine, came Dawn of War 2, and I have all of these as well. Dawn of War 2, Dawn of War 2 Chaos Rising, and Dawn of War Retribution. You'll notice I don't have a box for Retribution, because even though I pre-purchased the Eldar pack, which guaranteed me a custom cover for my box. They never sent me the box, so I have air. I have custom painted air, but air nonetheless. Thanks, Steam! So, which actually changed the format from a full-on Army RTS to you just ran a squad of up to 4 people. And in later incarnations, you could replace a leader in your squad with a group of soldiers. So you could actually have, mix it up a little bit, but you weren't fielding huge armies like you were in the original Dawn of War series. So, but that was really the only online experience, video game experience that people have had for the Warhammer 40k universe for quite a while. Good stuff, but everyone wants to be a Space Marine. Everyone wants to don this awesome armor and roll around on the battlefield, swinging their chainsword and firing their bolt pistol. We haven't been able to do that, but now we can. And I've played the demo, and it looks pretty good. A lot of people that I've actually seen online, the main complaint is they look like they're moving very slowly. Well, you got to think. And I've checked this. I've played a couple other like third-person shooters, first-person shooters. They're actually not moving any faster or slower, I believe, than any of the other games out there that have running and shooting. Gears of War, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, all that stuff. What they do is a Space Marine is about 8 feet tall and carrying enough armor plating on his body to cover a light armored vehicle. So I think it's over a ton. So the fact that these guys are moving at all is a miracle. In fact, considering, I believe that in the game Space Marine, they're actually probably moving a little too fast. But the thing is, when they're running, even when you hit the sprint button, they start doing the try-hard, getting their faster moves. You have the feeling, and that was the cool part about this game. Yeah, there's a lot of other third-person, first-person, whatever shooters out there, but this was the first one, really, in the Warhammer 40k universe that is awesome. They have this weight, this feeling of mass as they are moving, and that tricks you into thinking they're moving very slowly because you hear them every step they take. This big guy with tons of equipment and armor running around killing shit, which is what we want. So that, that's that complaint dealt with. Because honestly, it's not even a big complaint. If they're moving, a lot of these people that are complaining that they're moving too slowly, you're getting caught in the open. And I don't care what game you're playing. If you get caught in the open, you're not fast enough to outrun bullets. They ain't smart or stupid. But anyway, having played the demo, I can tell you, the guns feel like they have a weight to them. When he reloads, you hear the mechanics of the gun, which aren't like any other gun that you've heard on a regular third-person. This isn't an M16 P90, M4 carbine. This is a bolter. This thing is the size of an engine block, and it fires rocket-propelled shells that are about the size of a soda can. And this is a huge weapon, and you definitely feel this weight. I don't know how they do this. As you're firing, you can sight down, and you can fire off a volley. You also can switch in the first part of the demo. You play a standard tactical marine, so you can switch with the D-pad between a bolter, a bolt pistol, a scoped bolter, which is basically a sniper rifle, or something I think called the Vanquish, which basically is a limpet mine launcher. You launch a bunch of mines out, and then once they're out there, you can trigger them, and they all go off. But the most fun and what people are going to be using the most as a tactical marine is the standard bolter, and this thing is awesome. Just to fire this thing off and see orcs splattering everywhere, because there is tons of gore in this game. I'm not someone who likes visceral violence, but it's still just very satisfying to see as you're mowing down a row of charging orcs to see bits and pieces and internal organs and blood splatter everywhere, looking, air quotes, realistically as it's happening. So that's a very cool feature. The next part of the demo you get to play, you are an assault marine, which they replace their standard backpack with what's called a jump pack, which has rocket thrusters in it. So you can do soaring leaps, and then you can hit your attack button and do a power dive and basically slam to the ground, causing a shock wave and knocking enemies away. You don't have as much of a choice with weapons as a assault marine. Basically, bolt pistol and bolter. You can switch between the two and your chainsword. But that's the thing with the assault marines, is they are fast, move in, strike, move out. They aren't guys. They don't need to have the versatility of a tactical marine because they have one job: get in there really quick, beat the fuck out of people, and get the fuck out. And then the tactical marines come in and support. Now, the one class that they didn't show in the demo was called the Devastator, or if you're playing the Chaos Marines, they're called Havocs. These are the heavy weapons guys. These guys are carrying these giant, jackhammer on steroids looking things with two hands called heavy bolters. And they are, well, I didn't get a chance to play it, but I have seen them and they look really cool. They don't move very fast at all, but they don't have to because they are pouring out lead like they were using a fire hose. Whoosh, which is just awesome. So there's your 3 flavors of Marines, and you get to play 2 of them in part of the demo. So I think it's a great game. If you don't like the Warhammer 40k universe or don't know anything about it, it probably isn't going to appeal to you. This is for the fans or people who know about Space Marines. And I'll tell you a little history on this. All these games out there with these big hulking Marines like Master Chief from Halo, Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War, all these guys can trace their lineage back to people who played Space Marine. In fact, there are some of these games that actually call them, Marines from space. But these are the granddaddies. These are the guys that started it all. These are what Master Chief, Marcus Phoenix, all these guys wish they were. These are the guys that they go, wow, I wish I could be them. These are the OGs. This is where it all started, is Space Marines. No one else can claim to be a Space Marine but a Space Marine. And that is just flippin' awesome. So, having played this, and, obviously I have a little interest in this world and universe of gaming, I think it's going to be a great game. And as kind of a nod to the people who played the original tabletop miniatures, they have, and I quote, a customization level, armor plates, decals, different helmets, things like that. You can have literally 1.8 billion combinations possible of customization. I don't think anyone else has ever come even close to that. So if you're wanting your guy to look unique in multiplayer, you can do that. You can quite literally have a very good shot at making something no one else is running. So you have a good, you could probably just spend hours just making your dude, and then going out and fight with it. Plus, there's also pre-order packs you can get, which allow you to get even more armor bits. But I think pre-ordering is over right now. But of course, as with all pre-orders, you can go on eBay after the fact and buy some codes. So if you're really interested in that, that's where you got to go. So Space Marine, yes, good game in my personal opinion. However, the demo is out there, so try it for yourself and actually let me know what you think. So that's my review of Space Marine. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoy the game. I know I'm going to when I can finally afford to buy it. But I will. So those of you looking out there to play Space Marine with the old guy, it will happen sooner or later. So, yeah, that's it. So enjoy yourselves out there and have a good time. Have fun.